Today we're tackling something that everyone tells you to do, multitask. It seems like the right solution, but we're going to get into reasons why I don't think it really works and actually hold you back. Welcome back to Seriously, the Claudia Project, where we talk everything from lifestyle, motherhood, and everything in between to get you motivated for the week. I know we're starting out, and so I want to make sure that you kick your week off the right way and on the right foot. And so you're going to learn 3 things that I've kind of taken away that hopefully help you master going into the week and how you're really going to get things done to help you be the best version of yourself, truly. So the myth is, and I was someone who totally believed this, is that multitasking helps you get more things done. But really, all it does is like force your brain to be in 30 different places at once, and then you're actually not accomplishing anything at all. And so what I used to do is jump from one thing to the next, and then be, at the end of the day, confused as to why I felt like I got absolutely nothing done. And so that's something that I had to get over. And because I was like pretty good at it, I thought like, oh, I'm the queen of multitasking. Like I can do everything, but I really wasn't accomplishing much. So if this sounds like you, go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you keep coming back. Episodes come every day during the week. So that's Monday through Friday. And then also let's get into some tips and tricks on how you're going to make sure that this isn't something that keeps happening to you. So what are 3 things that actually will help you go into this week feeling accomplished and like you're actually getting things done, even if you have a ton of different things to do during your week? Number 1, time blocking with flexibility. So it's okay if you have a lot of things to do during the week and you feel like you kind of have to bobble from one thing to another, but you need to try to time block your segments. So I'll do things like I'll answer work emails for 1 hour and let's focus on only the work emails. And so I'm going through them and I don't let myself get sidetracked with anything else, and I block it off and I make sure I focus. Like, we're going to say it's a Sunday, right? So I'm focused on work for that hour and I don't do any other things. I'm not on social media. I'm not thinking about the dance team. I'm not thinking about what Ashton's going to eat after school. That way I can really focus on this hour. Now there's flexibility in it, which means like if you need to shift from work to like home life for 15 minutes, that's okay. But again, you're blocking out the time instead of 1 work email, 1 Gold Rush email, 1 mom email, because now your brain is like switching from too many things. And so I've talked about this before in previous videos, but I don't like writing down the blocks in my calendar. It just kind of stresses me out, but I do have soft mental blocks happening. So I know, and I set timers on when I'm going to make the shift, and I'll do like large blocks to make sure that I'm actually getting things done that make sense. Number 2, prioritizing your top 3. Now, this is the biggest game changer for me, and I talk about this all the time, but going into Monday, especially if you're watching this at the beginning of your week, you really want to think about how are you going to focus your week and your days in like what are your main priorities. So like for me, my main priority right now is our taxes. So it's the number 1 priority for me for the week. Yes. So my top for this week and for really the month of August is taxes and making sure I get them done. That's number 1. But what happens to a lot of us is we're making lists that are incredibly too long. And so then you can't possibly get through them all in the day. So then you feel like you haven't accomplished anything. And then that kind of spirals into feeling like you don't accomplish anything else. And so then you do nothing for a few days, or at least that's how it was working for me. So what you're going to do is start with your top 3 for the day. Let's not focus on too many big overarching things. You want to focus on your top 3 things for one day. So maybe that's, I definitely want to read. I want to make sure I get close to 8,000 steps, and I want to focus on my protein. Those are your top 3 priorities. And you write them down on a piece of paper. Don't put them anywhere else. When you get to work, write your top 3 priorities for the day out, and then that way they can be top of mind. And then anything else you accomplish throughout the day is an add-on and a plus. And we love add-ons and pluses, right? So shifting your mind to picking your 3 must get dones and then crossing them off the list will make you, 1, give yourself like space and time to do other things throughout your day, other things coming up throughout your day, but then actually finishing the day and feeling like you've accomplished something. And so you're not multitasking. You are like, these 3 things are off the list and then everything else is just pluses. So really thinking about your top 3 and kind of shifting your goals, not making lists that are too long, also super helpful. And number 3, batching microtasks. So we've talked about this before. Hi, Ash. You want to close the door? So batching microtasks, what does that really mean? Instead of constant interruptions, you want to group things together. So if I'm cleaning the house, I know I want to wash my dishes, then I'm automatically going to wipe down all the countertops. I'm going to clean off the main like island in our house, and then I'm going to clean the living room. Those are things I always do together. I never separate them. That way, once I start one task, I know exactly what's coming after that. And I can do them in any order that I need to mix them around, but I know that they all kind of go together for me, and I've almost mastered how long they're going to take me. Now, the dishes, always, you guys know here, like I'm always talking about these dishes. They never end. We just keep doing them over and over again. But regardless, they're batched tasks together. Same thing. Like now that I have thought about like wanting to focus on my skin routine and all of those things, I get in the shower, I wash my face, I get out, I spray the stuff after, and I put on a moisturizer. Like those are things that happen simultaneously. I've batched them together. That way it's nothing I need to think about, and it helps me not even have to, it's not even a multitasking thing. It's just things I know now go together. Same thing with people trying to make their beds for the first time. You get out of the bed, you make it immediately. You don't come back to it because you are batching the tasks together. This helps you know exactly what's going to happen. Maybe you do something like you start a load of laundry, you edit something. If that's something that you're into, you start a load of laundry, you read a chapter in the book, and then you have that hour to read while the laundry is washing, because laundry does itself, no matter how much we all complain about it. But figuring out tasks that you can batch together, that way you don't even have to think about like necessarily using the space to multitask. It's just things that you're always doing at the same time, so you don't have to use any additional brain space or like, extra fodder, if you will, to get it done. And it will take away the constant interruption, which is what multitasking really creates, right? It's your brain having to stop, think, readjust, stop, think, readjust over and over and over again. And that's what we're trying to get rid of. The big thing here is the real secret is multitasking is one of those things that you see on the internet, and it makes you feel empowered, and it makes you feel like, oh, I can do so many things at once. But the truth, and the people who are getting the most out of their days, are people who have realized that multitasking is taking more time out of their days than they thought, and they're doing the 3 things that we just talked about and really, really owning their time and their days without making excuses. So we want to reframe the way we're looking at it. I don't need to do all of this at once, and physically I cannot do it all at once. So how can I own my day and own all of the tasks that I really need to get done? And on the other side of that, what are some of these tasks that I don't really need to do anymore? So something that we had cut for a really long time is like having a house cleaner. And so like we've taken the time to like add that back into our lives. And this is definitely first world problems. But after not doing it for 6 months, we've decided that it's like, here's something that we want to try to add back in, because I'm cool with dishes and like all of the things, but I don't really want to do baseboards and thinking about dusting, and like it's just a task I don't want to think about. And so we're talking about maybe taking that off of the tasks list for us and adding one day one day out of the month where we bring somebody in and have them do the deep cleaning in our house, which might be very helpful and relieve a little bit of stress. And so that's something you can think about too. What are some of these tasks that you're doing day to day? Like, do you have the space to give them to someone else? Are you someone in your house where there's other people who can help with the load? So like recently, Andre and I decided like I do the dishes and he wants to do the laundry. And so like the laundry is not something that's on my load of things I need to think about. And so being okay with when and how he does that is something we're still working on. But it's not something that is on my side of the house anymore. And so I don't worry myself with it. And so the last thing I want a lot of you to think about, especially if you're still here this late into the episode, 1, we love you and we appreciate you. But also like allowing the other people in your lives to step in and take away some of the tasks that you have deemed things only you can do, and then allowing them to do them in their time when they can, and in the way that they like to do it. Because a lot of it is like the control freak in some of us who like, you're like, oh, I could do it this way and I could do it so much faster. But honey, you have other things to do, and that wasn't on your top 3 today. So you need to focus in and let it go and let somebody else help you. And that's okay. And the more you get used to doing that and letting people and allowing people to help you out, the more space and time you'll have to do other things that you really have interest in doing. And so, Those are the big things. So you need to allow things like that to happen and really focus, because it will give you more time for your career, for your family, and it'll also let you really, really focus in on the things that matter when they matter. That way you're not with your family, but you're multitasking, doing all of these other things, because you haven't given yourself the time that it really allows to focus in on what you're doing. And this is all about making you better. And so as you go into this week, I want you to think about these things, see what you can do today. Focus on your top 3 and then remove multitasking from your day. Like for me, I had to really think about this, and it was a habit that I have recently had to really focus on, because I noticed like I was letting my brain shift back and forth over and over again and not really honing in on one thing, which was just making me slow. Not in, not slow like that, but just it wasn't allowing me to produce my best work, because I'm hopping from one thing to the next, and that's not helpful for anyone. As always, thank you guys so much for being here. I hope that your week is off to a good start, and that you're listening to this before on your way to work, really giving yourself something to think about to go into this week strong and like making the best steps forward. As always, you guys know we are in this together. Seriously. This is the Claudia Project. Thank you so much for being here. We'll be back again tomorrow with another episode. Bye.